Hi, today is Tuesday, March 11th. It is Mars's Day, and I want to be talking about the astro weather for today so we can just get through it. So, we still have our little bit of an Aries pile up in the sky with Mercury, Venus, and Chiron all in Aries. And we also have that Piscean deluge of fun happening with the Sun and Saturn still getting closer to their conjunction, getting closer to their conjunction that will also be having to do with the eclipse that is happening on really the middle of the night of the 13th to Friday the 14th. North Node, Pisces, still in the degrees of just having ingressed into that sign, and Neptune is pregnant at an anoretic 29 degrees and 17 minutes. So she's just ready to pop with promise, right? Of full dreams, illusions, delusions, grandeur, um, visions for the new cycle that is going to happen. Um, this could be a time of heightened, confusion in general. We do know that I believe Neptune is on sheet right now, and so a heightened time for lots of news about water, flooding, that sort of thing as well. Neptune is also separating from the North Node, so it's kind of trying to go forward with its vision after having met with the North Node pointing us to the future. Right. So I think today versus yesterday, today feels a bit more cranky. In the morning, we have the moon forming quincunxes, a quincunx to the sun in Pisces. And so the moon being in Leo, which is ruled by that sun in Pisces, but they're having kind of a meetup that says, I need you to change, I need you to adjust, and I need you to do it kind of quickly. I need you to figure it out. And so there's something perhaps about the vision, right? That the moon in Leo is so desiring to create, right? Leo, creativity, that needs some sort of refinement and some sort of shift. And this can be kind of an uncomfortable type of energy. Quincunxes are not comfortable. I say that as someone who has a number of them in my chart. Um, they take a bit of really needing to be really malleable and able to shift on a dime, to be able to readjust at any time. So I think that this is a day that will feel like we are needing to make various adjustments in order for us to fulfill our vision going forward. Now, later in the day, we have about 1:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The moon in Leo will square Uranus in Taurus. So this is some sort of emotional shock. These are fixed signs. It doesn't feel good when fixed signs are almost implored to shift, right? Fixed signs don't want to change. They want to stay right where they are. They want to maintain their comfort and their status quo. And so there could be something here that really has to do with our sense of security being ruptured, right? Potentially having something to do with our food supplies, with that Uranus and Taurus having really been that. This also could have something to do with finances, financial things that are going on. And obviously, we know that a lot is going on with the stock markets. Um, Uranus in Taurus being in a Venus's sign. Uh, Venus is in not great condition, so the money isn't quite right now. And so there could be some shocks to how all of that's happening. I mean, we know that there's tariffs and we know that the stock market is plummeting. And so there could be some news here, is what I'm saying today in particular, that kind of comes out, that kind of shakes us up a bit. In our personal, intrapersonal kind of lives, this could be, the moon in Leo kind of wanting to, pardon, selfishly and independently kind of go along its way, doing its own thing, perhaps being a bit dramatic and fun and playful. And then when it comes and squares up with Uranus, it's told that it needs to shift, it needs to change what it's doing in order to go forward. This is kind of a lightning bolt, this is a earthquake, right? Kind of thing. So it would be interesting to kind of see what culminates for this. But if you end up being a bit shocked, don't be surprised. Or actually, Uranus is just kind of out of left field all the time. So even if you think you know what the shock is, there's often no way to prepare for it. This can be also a sudden hit of hard intuition where, like, once you know this thing, once it hits for you, there is no going forward in the way that you were before, right? So there's something to that as well. And considering that the sun in Leo is ruled by that, the moon in Leo is ruled by that sun in Pisces that is coming to Saturn, there's something about a limitation here, a limitation of the dream, a limitation of the vision, that doesn't feel good and needing to shift in some sort of way. Also today, it's kind of the biggest aspect of the day. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of wrap things up after this. Mercury in Aries is going to conjunct Venus in Aries, which is retrograde. Venus is retrograde at 8 degrees 47 minutes. So just about 9, just right within that 1 degree of the Aries eclipse that is going to be happening. So there's a piece of information here that talks to us about that Aries eclipse at the end of this month, right? There is a meeting here that also is going to have a journey, right? This is a new kind of space for, like, hey, we're having this meetup. We're ruled by Mars. So these are about Martian things, our desires, our drives. And then we're going to go on a journey, and then they'll meet up again, not until November 24th. And they will meet up in Scorpio, which Venus also isn't so great in Scorpio. So Venus will be kind of debilitated. Mercury will be less so, and also be ruled by Mars. So these are still this whole cycle has to do with some Martian things. I'm very fascinated about what this story kind of holds for us. So it's almost as if whatever's going on at this degree, they're going to meet up again. They have to do with the eclipse in April. And then maybe we don't get the full story or a bigger piece of the puzzle literally until November. All of these things are connected. And so I'm just kind of spending my time pondering what's going on with those things. Venus and Saturn are in Contratisha for today, will be through Saturday. And so when we have Venus and Saturn in Contratisha, that's almost like an opposition, right? And so there's like endings around Venusian things. Saturn can be endings, can be stops, blocks, halt, do not pass go, boundaries, limitations, tests, and trials, right? This is a maturation point for Venus to go, Venus in Aries, saying, I don't really know if I want to continue to go this way in order to take care of myself, right? Venus in Aries is independent. She wants to do it her way. She needs to go off and do it all on her own. The boss babe of Venuses. I really think she's the warrior, right? She doesn't take any shit. And so I think that there's something around the severing and halting of certain relationships that no longer serve. That's kind of running in the background for this entire Venus in Aries retrograde period, but especially for these few days with that Contratisha being strong, kind of just running in the background, the secret little ninja aspect, right? We also have some contra parallels for today. We have Mercury and Saturn are in contra parallel, and Jupiter and Pluto are contra parallel. So this could be some secrets about our law system coming up, or kind of rumbling in the background. And Mercury contra parallel, Saturn can also be around, some conversations that um, could potentially have a bit of a finalization kind of feeling, like this is the last time that we need to talk about this in order for us to go forward in this new way. I'm interested because Mercury will be going retrograde, so I think that this contraparallel will happen again, but it's just kind of running in the background. Like they're in a little bit of a fight, squabbling in the background, while Venus and Mercury are meeting up and saying, like, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you all about the ways that I feel about love and money and relationship. And I am going to speak quickly with all of the fire and maybe even spite that I potentially have. This is like popping off about Venusian topics. This is being able to communicate how you are feeling about Venusian topics, and instinctively. It's almost like, you say it before you even know you meant it. Remember, Mercury's about to go retrograde, so these things can be revisited, and also possibly having to do with some themes or something that rhymes happening when Mercury and Venus meet again in the future in November. All that to say, I think that today feels a bit uncomfortable, and very pregnant with possibility and potentially feeling kind of limited. I feel like the energy of the day could feel a little bit glum. And so there is a call to really take care of ourselves, right? And to just kind of stay quiet and patient and present inside of the moment, because the eclipses are here. And this is a liminal time where we are kind of picked up on our path and placed in a different place, saying, actually, you needed to be here now. So without further ado, I hope you have a good, if not good, potentially productive in your own way kind of Tuesday. Take care.
Hey, thank you for listening to today's Astro weather with me. I'm Sydney. As a reminder, I'm always open to seeing both new and my beloved returning clients. My website is ddastrology.com, that is D as in dog, astrology.com, to check me out and just click the email buttons in order to schedule with me. If you're into a more conversational feel with your podcast and content, I have a podcast called BS Astrology with my fellow Mercurial Mommy Bender, and we put out episodes every Sunday for the week. Just search BS Astrology on YouTube or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcast, including Spotify, Audible, and more. Have a good day.